Um, you want to record? We're recording.
You are recording.
All right. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate your patience. We had a little bit of a technical issue tonight, but just as good as technology is, there may be a hiccup or two sometimes. So we appreciate you setting some time aside to join us tonight. I am Shelby Potter. I'm a very blessed Senior Ruby Ambassador, and I am joined by some outstanding business partners tonight, which I'll introduce shortly. We just want to give everybody a heads up. We are going to we'll kind of call out a keyword during the event. Don't worry, we'll make it obvious. But we want to make sure that you get back to the person who invited you with that keyword so that you can be entered to win a giveaway. So let me first get some of the legalese out of the way and just let you know that this event is sponsored by independent Plexus ambassadors, not Plexus Worldwide. And of course, the stories that you'll hear tonight are as amazing as they are. We just can't guarantee the same individual experiences or results, and certainly no guarantee or promise of compensation. So of course, I want to shed a little bit of light on expectations. We want to make sure that you are that you're excited about this, of course, that we are conscious of your time. And by the end of the event, we want to make sure that you understand why our Plexus products are in such high demand. And we want you to certainly be educated on the fact that Plexus will set you up for success, particularly for those of you who, like me, are not a salesperson. So if you were invited to this call, just be mindful that someone thinks that you are amazing and that you could absolutely create your own freedom. We each lead successful teams, so of course we want you to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce one of my best friends that I met through Plexus. I mean, this is one of the greatest side benefits of all of these relationships. She is just incredible. She's done whatever it takes to get this business going and supporting her team. She's a Sapphire ambassador, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Erin Barton.
Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Erin Barton, obviously, like Shelby said, and I joined Plexus in 2013. I was at the time in school to be an RN. I was doing a career change, had been in the car business for a long time and was looking for a way to help people. I was also a secretary for my husband and a stay-at-home mom, so I was super busy. I saw Plexus on Facebook, and at first I was like, wow, why would someone put me in a Plexus page because I'm a size 4? I didn't think I needed the products. I was like, this is crazy. But so what happened was, after a few months of watching the testimonials, I was just in awe of what the products were doing for people. So even though I didn't think I needed them, I thought a lot of other people needed them. So I ended up joining the company just for the business. I thought it was a great business opportunity, and I thought these products could really help a lot of people. And so I knew that the startup fee was pretty cheap, and I was like, well, what if this was a better way to help people than going to school and getting a degree and having all these, student loans and stuff like that? So I jumped in and joined without even trying the products. And I invited 5 of my friends over to try the products and tell me if they worked. But before they even really had a chance to come back to me in a week, I had already figured out how I was going to get paid and started calling everybody that I knew and was like, this is going to be amazing. You have to do this with me. So I ended up, advancing in that company pretty fast. Once I tried the products, I did learn that, I had amazing energy. I sleep better. I haven't been sick since I started the product, so not even a cold, nothing. And my family has really benefited greatly from the product. So they have been just across the board. Like, my husband has ADHD, like, even as an adult, and so he just loves the Slim. And I'm gonna tell you, like, he fought me tooth and nail on the business because he just is old school. He was a superintendent for a road construction company. We already made, a pretty 6-figure income at that time, and so he couldn't see the vision. But basically what ended up happening is he loved the products, and I just did the business anyway. And so I was able to go from, like, obviously 0 income in the company till about 9 months I hit an Emerald level, which is a 6-figure income and lots of perks and stuff like that. But at this point, I've been in almost 4 years, so I'm a sapphire. My husband is an emerald. I was able to retire him 2 years ago. We also funded a second business and purchased some rental properties and stuff like that with our Plexus income. So we're on the path to creating financial freedom, and that was something that I really wanted for us to be able to spend time with him. And one of the big things for me about Plexus, because I grew up really poor, is being able to make that financial impact for generations on other people. So I, have a passion for taking people who maybe are just surviving right now and showing them how they can thrive with our company and just create a better opportunity for their kids and, for future generations. So that's kind of where I'm at as far as the business goes. It's an amazing opportunity. It's $34.95 to join. You're going to hear some testimonials and other people's stories on this call, but I just want to cover a few things. Like, there's no inventory needed. There's no parties. A lot of what we do is online. Like, I built most of my business on social media. There's lots of fun trips that we get to go on, and we have just a great, amazing culture within Plexus. We all love to help each other. You're going to hear from all these wonderful people tonight, and none of them are associated with my personal business, and we do things for each other and together all the time. So that's an amazing thing about Plexus. We have, a full back office with all your reports and trainings and team pages and tons of support and literature and stuff for you to learn if you're really interested in like products and ingredients and that type of thing. We have all the information for you too. So I'm super excited to turn this over to, oh my goodness, let's see, who am I doing first? Brooke Hemingway. She is a diamond with Plexus, and she was an RN, and I believe her husband is a doctor. And so she's going to tell you a little bit about their story and how they got started in the business and what her thoughts were.
All right. Hi, everyone, and aloha. I live on the island of Kauai, which is a really small island in a town of about 2,000 people. And I am a mom of 5, currently expecting my 6th baby. I started using Plexus products about 19 months ago, and that was about 6 weeks postpartum with my 5th baby. I was somebody that watched my friend post and talk about Plexus for about a year before I would even try it, because in addition to being a nurse, I'm also a fitness instructor. I have a degree in kinesiology and I have a degree in nursing, and I thought that the only thing you really needed to do in life was exercise and eat healthy, and you should feel good. And I was very closed-minded to supplementation, didn't even take a vitamin. Like, I'm talking no supplementation, not even protein shakes like a lot of fitness people do. I just thought, get it from food and exercise. But the truth was, I was struggling with a lot of things that many people struggle with. Even though I lived a healthy life, I wasn't overweight. I'm not like a skinny mini. I'm muscular, and strong, but I wasn't looking for weight loss. And I kind of thought that this is what Plexus was about. And so I had prejudged it. And I think that happens a lot. So finally, I had my baby, and I'd been watching my friend post, and I decided, you know what? Honestly, I'm not feeling so hot. I feel like I have no patience. I have no energy. I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. I need Diet Coke or a nap to get through the day. I love sugar way too much. This is a problem. And I was having a lot of bloating, GI issues, just feelings of just, feeling so uptight. And, combined with those postpartum, landslide that you can fall into, that's what I felt like. And I was like, I got to try something. And so I just decided to give it a try. I thought, you know what the heck? I got to do something because I'm exercising already. Aside from my Diet Coke and my little candy habit, I'm eating healthy. So something's got to change. So I hopped in and joined as an ambassador from the beginning. Because that's what my friend told me to do. I had no idea what it meant. I have never done any kind of network marketing, any kind of sales, anything. I wasn't looking for a job or a business or anything. My husband is a physician. I stopped working as a nurse a few months before I had that 5th baby. But, I wasn't looking for a job. I wasn't somebody that really needed a financial opportunity, so to speak. I just wanted to feel better. And so I took the products for me within about 10 days or so. I started to experience a lot of relief from those issues, and I felt like a new person. I could not believe 6 weeks postpartum how good I felt. Like, I was floored, amazed. I've had a lot of babies, so I know how it goes, and I was like, this is pretty amazing. So my friend was like, you've got to share on Facebook. And I'm like, you're crazy, but okay, I'll do it because I love you and you told me to. So I shared on Facebook, and I found there are a lot of people out there that struggle with the same things, whether it's energy, cravings, emotional things, sleep, all that kind of stuff. There are so many people that struggle with those things. And by me and all these other people just opening their mouth and sharing their experience, we've been able to create amazing accidental businesses. And so Plexus really truly was an accidental business for me. I had people that were interested right away. And by the way, I had a very small social media network. I had about 150 to 200 Facebook friends. I was not a homecoming queen or a sorority girl or anything like that growing up. I was mostly busy homeschooling my kids and having babies and just trying to get through the day, doing the things I had to do. But people knew that if I was talking about this, I'd never really talked about anything else, so there must be something to this. And I became very passionate about the things that Plexus focuses on. So I started sharing, and I joined in September of 2015. And in September of 2016, I reached the top of the company as a Diamond Ambassador. So why did I decide to hop into this business then, right? I had an unbelievable experience with the products. I studied the ingredients. I knew they were legit. I knew that they did what they said they did, and so I could stand behind it from a product standpoint. That was very important to me. But number two is, I remember early on when I was just starting sharing, I remember looking at the compensation plan and having a pretty good response and thinking, you know what if I could do this and it could change our family's life? So most people would look at us and think, well, your husband's a physician, he makes a good income, why would you want to do this? Well, here's the answer, guys. A lot of people that live a good life and make a good income, it comes at a high cost. And for us, it came at the cost of my husband working 2 jobs. Did I cut myself off there? Oh no, I thought I logged myself out. It came at the cost of my husband working 2 jobs, 70 to 80 hours a week, right? I had 5 kids. He hardly had any relationship with our kids. He was always stressed out and cranky. And he had had some health scares a couple years prior. And I just felt like, you know what? This has fallen into my lap, and I would be a fool if I didn't try. I would be an absolute fool because these products are amazing. There is no compensation plan like this. And if I decide to work hard and go after it and try to help people and change lives, I can do this. And so I jumped in with both feet, and it has literally changed our family's life. My husband now just works a regular, like 35-hour work week. He takes the kids surfing. He's home. He's happy. He's well rested. The time that we have together is so important because all you really have in life is time and your health. And Plexus can help with both of those things. So really, to us, it's a complete no-brainer. He's an advocate for it. He tells people the same thing, like, hey, you want to have a healthy body, you want to live a happy, healthy life, take the products. You don't want to be stressed out and working like crazy, work the business. Why not? It's a different way of thinking. It's a way of creating a residual income instead of working more hours, because in the past, if we wanted more money to do something, guess what? We would just work more shifts. I don't have to do that now because my income continues to grow residually because of that effort I put into my business from the very beginning. So I love these products. I love this company. I'm so grateful for how it changed our family dynamics and that I no longer feel like a single parent raising 5 kids because my husband is present. So that's my story.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Brooke. I'm going to have to find you on Facebook and friend you. I was like, I can't send her the link. Yeah, I love hearing your story, and I love hearing your husband talk. I heard one of his calls not too long ago where he was on, I think, Rock the Pink or something, and it was interesting getting his take on the whole thing. So we appreciate you coming on. Thank you. So next up we have Todd Franklin, and he's going to share with us, and we're so excited to have a guy on tonight that he's going to give you his perspective. And he is a college basketball coach and a motivational speaker. So go ahead, Todd.
Well, thank you very much. I tell you, I was talking to Aaron messaging Aaron back and forth today, and I was truly humbled and honored to be on here because, you know, when you're always motivating other people, in fact, I'm finishing up a book right now, Who Motivates the Motivators? And so often you get home as a leader and you're wiped out. And I stalk some of you. So I go on Facebook when I'm traveling. I'm driving to the airport right now. I pulled over at a little rest stop, and you know, I stalk some of you. So I listen to what you guys say, and it inspires me to keep sharing. So thank you guys. My story is kind of like everybody else's, but maybe a little different in the middle. My cousin Cindy Franklin is the Emerald ambassador with Plexus, and she called me. I have a Master of Science. She goes, Todd, I want you to look at this product. I've heard every line in the book, as you guys have as too. And, you know, I have a decent personality. I speak a little bit. So people are always coming up to me like they come up to you and say, we can make you a millionaire if you just join our company. And the first time I hear that, I politely say no. The eighth time they call me, I'm not so polite. But she called me and said, hey, would you look at this and taste it? And I said, okay. So I took it she gave me a 30-day supply. Day 25, she calls me, says, hey, what do you think? I didn't tell her, but at 10 in the morning, I'd have one of the big Red Bulls. And then at 3 o'clock, I'd have a big Monster when I was heading home. So I told her it didn't really do anything for me, but I was caffeining myself. So of course it wouldn't do anything for me. So I said, I'm not really interested. And she goes, okay, no problem. You know, do you mind if I stay in touch? I said, absolutely. You're my cousin. Absolutely. So I kept watching her videos and I kept watching her posts, which is probably important for people to hear. I never liked one of them, and I never commented on one of them. But finally, I had to have shoulder surgery. My son broke his arm jumping off his bunk bed. And so I've surfed my whole life. I lived in Maui for 15 years. So my shoulder, I team rope at rodeos. So my shoulder was messed up. So I had my surgery, but I still had pain. So I've been watching my cousin's videos, and so I called her up and said, hey, would any of that help my shoulder and inflammation? She's like, you know, a day later, I was on the Fab 5. So she sent me everything, and I loved it. And I sent her a text, and she still shows people today. I said, thank you so much. I promise I'm never going to share it, and I'm never going to sell it. Thank you for understanding. Thank you so much. And I kept my promise for 3 months. I didn't tell a soul. I worked hard at just taking it myself. And it was in the back of my mind, but I never wanted to tell anyone because I told her that. Well, I'm at dinner at my dad's house with my family. I've got a lovely wife and 3 children. And we're eating, and my dad's talking. He's a retired minister. He had just retired for 40 years. And all he wanted to do was go hunt and hike. He loves to hunt, shoot elk, deer. I mean, he's like a man's man, and I can't shoot anything, but he just loves to hunt. And so I said, Dad, on accident, I promise you, I said, why don't you try my pink drink? And the look my wife gave me, and women, you know that look. She gave that to me across the table, and I knew I was in trouble because she is in the medical field. My grandfather's a doctor. My mother-in-law is a head RN, and she gave me the look like, you're going to find a right home. And so my dad, three horrible things happened right then. My dad, one, said, okay, I'll try it. That was the first horrible thing to happen. 2, my wife, the look. And then 3, I had to tell people that, okay, now I'm telling someone. So my dad took it, and he had absolutely amazing results. And so I still didn't want to tell anyone. And I called Cindy. I said, Cindy, I don't know what to do. My dad wants to take it. So she walked me through it. A couple of weeks later, I'm in my office, and a lady comes in. I could tell she was in pain. She was not in great shape, if you can hear what I'm saying. And she had a cast on her foot. And I said, you know what? I have a product that might help you with inflammation. And I was like, oh, I did it again. I accidentally told someone. She took the product. She said, I'll do it right now. I called Cindy back up. I'm like, what's my webpage? How do I don't do it for me. I don't have time for this. So Cindy walked me through it. The lady had amazing results. So now I'm at a crossroads because men, we're idiots. We understand we're idiots. We don't tell people that, but we are. We've got one foot still in the cave. And I had to humble myself and say, okay, am I going to keep this a secret? I've got an amazing secret. how selfish of me not to tell people because of my pride. I have traditional business. I travel the country. I speak. I do all these things. I don't need network marketing. You know, my pride said that's a little beneath me. And so I finally just, you know, my faith base really helped me. I humbled myself and said, okay, I can't keep this a secret. So I had to start sharing. And it's amazing when you start serving people and what happens. And so people just kept coming out of the woodwork. And I found I didn't have time. So I found it'd be real easy if I just had one night at my house. I'd rather tell it one time to 5 people than 5 times each day. And so my wife, remember, she hates Plexus. She didn't want it in our house. She asked me not to have it. Little hint there, don't try to talk your spouse into it, okay? Show them. So I didn't talk her into it, but she started listening as I'm explaining to people because, honestly, I didn't really trust Plexus. I did my own research. I wanted to find out what the ingredients really did. You know, kind of like Ford says they're the best, whatever, okay? So I wanted to find out the ingredients, okay? So when I found out how amazing they were, I started telling people around the kitchen table, and my wife's listening. About a week later, I noticed that my product was missing. And I thought it was my kids because it tastes like Kool-Aid. Who wouldn't drink it? They're sitting by the pool. I thought they were drinking it. So I tell my daughter, McKenna, I don't appreciate you drinking my pink drink. My wife goes, we need to talk. And I'm like, that's never good. Men, if you hear that, you're in trouble. I said, what now? She goes, I've been drinking it. I gave her that look like, oh, girl, you're in trouble now. Okay, so since then, she has totally come on board. She has never told a soul, but she now understands what it's doing to the body because we lived on scripts. I got a sore throat coming on, script. I got a sore ear, script. I got a hurt elbow, script. So that was what my family did. Now we're all about Plexus. We're about sharing it because I feel that's what God calls me to do. If I find out something amazing, if I find a good movie, I'm going to tell someone. A good food, I'm going to tell someone. Why wouldn't I share my health with someone so they feel healthy too? So that's my really quick story, sitting in the truck, heading to the airport. Thank you guys so much. You guys inspire me. I'm blessed because I get to follow you.
Thank you, Todd. We appreciate you coming on. It's so great to hear from a guy and the perspective because, you know, I think a lot of us women hear it at home all the time. You know, I dealt with my husband for months. Like, he just said, oh, Plexus isn't paying our bills, but you're still working, you know? And it was like, I would work and he'd be like, it's not paying our bills. And then, you know, it'd be $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. And I'm like, oh, now who's bringing home the money, you know? So it's fun to just get that second perspective. So thank you so much for coming on. So now we have the amazing Melisa Hilderbrand, and she is an emerald ambassador. Or you're sapphire now, aren't you?
Nope, still emerald, but I'm headed to sapphire.
She's an emerald ambassador, and so is her husband, and so is her daughter. So they have a great story, and they are traditional business owners. So I'm gonna let her, you know, take it over.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, I don't know about y'all, but I am jacked up. And I'm telling you, if you have listened tonight and you are not jacked up, your jack is broken. I mean, broken. You need to get it looked at. That's all there is to it. I'm Melisa Hilderbrand. March 28th was my 4-year anniversary with Plexus. And let me tell you something. Had no idea what was fixing to happen when I started drinking the little pink drink. Y'all, my husband, like what Aaron said, my husband owns a small mattress factory, and that was his business. I was a special ed teacher, and I don't know, but there we go. Okay. It's all right. I don't know about you, but I had dreams. But it's amazing to me that I think back now and, you know, some of those dreams that I had, like here's just one. And this dates back way because I was 8 years old the very first time that I told my mom that I wanted to be a mama. That was the one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a mama. And when I became a mama, I'm like, okay, the best thing for me to do is to become a teacher because as a teacher, you get your times off with the kids if they're out of school. And I love kids. So why not, right? That would be the great thing to do. And with my husband owning a business and me being a teacher, and I don't know whether you are aware of it or not, but teachers don't exactly make what they should be making. We'll just say that. They're turning out tomorrow's future, and they're eating scraps. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And so we lived paycheck to paycheck. And I had gotten to a place in my life to where, number one, I love people. I love to be around people. I get my energy from people. But I had come to a place in my life to where, you know, I stayed at home all the time. I went to school. That was all I did. I went to work. I came home. I sat my rear on the couch. And I just was not at a happy place in my life. And so I bought a set of capris. I'm just going to put them out there because I bought a set of capris for my fall or my spring outfit. That was the biggest size that I'd ever bought. I cried myself to sleep, and I cried out to God that night. And I said, I can't do it on my own. If I could have done it on my own, I would have already had it done, but I can't. I need help. And the next week, I saw a lady of faith that I knew had done research. You know, I saw her post, and she's like a size 0, if you know what I mean. And so my first reaction was, are you flipping kidding me? You're like a size 2, maybe even 0. I don't even know. And why are you talking about, you know, like being able to lose some weight? But my second thought was, you know, I know she's a woman of character. So I got on. I wanted to get the products for the cheapest I could possibly get it, because I'm telling you, for me to buy the products, I had to do away with some of the other things that I had in my life. I mean, that's just all there was to it. I didn't have money. I did not have that extra money to just throw away. I say throw away. I wasn't throwing them away, but you know what I mean. So I bought them, and I did not tell my husband. I didn't tell anyone, actually, because I thought, you know what? If I'm going to be a failure one more time, I'm going to do it on my own. Nobody's going to know about it. That's all there is to it. Well, y'all, that's been 4 years ago. I am once again my happy-go-lucky self. I love to be around people again. Dropped 65 pounds, which is absolutely amazing. But let me tell you this. When my first check come in the mail, we live in a very small rural area. Like, my closest neighbor's a mile away. That's just, I mean, we like that, you know, but it's very small. For some reason, the postman had taken our mail to my husband at the mattress factory. And he calls me and he says, "Hey, you have a check from Plexus." And I'm like, "No, I don't." And he said, "Well, I didn't open it because it has your name on it, but I'm telling you, it looks like a check." And he said, "Do you want me to open it?" And I said, "Does it have your name on it?" "No, I don't want you to open it." What if it is a check? But I thought, you know, I haven't overpaid him. I had absolutely zero. I swear to you, I had no idea what was in that envelope. So I drove the extra 10 miles to go to the mattress factory after school that day to find out what was in that envelope. I opened it up and I was in awe. I mean, I was absolutely amazed. This was my first check, and it was literally it would have been a little over a third of what I was making a month teaching school. And I had gone to school, I had my bachelor's, I had my master's, and was teaching special ed. And I was in awe of it. And so my loving, wonderful, adorable husband said, "You have gotten yourself into a multi-level marketing company, haven't you?" And I'm like, maybe. He said, wherever you go to order, he said, "You get me into that." And he said, "I'm going to look at it," because he's my researcher. Me, I'm like, I'm either in or I'm out. He's my researcher. So I opened up my back office, of which didn't even know that's what it was called. I opened it up and I let my extremely skeptical husband go through that compensation plan with a fine-tooth comb. He come home that night and he opened the door and he said, "You did. You got yourself into a multi-level marketing company." And I'm like, sorry, not sorry? Because, you know, I had a skewed view of multi-level marketing companies. And so I probably wouldn't have tried it. And I know he wouldn't have let me try it if he would have known that. And he said, "I don't know where the compensation he said, a mastermind developed the compensation plan." Well, a mastermind definitely developed the compensation plan, because I've never in my life seen a compensation plan the way that Plexus compensation plan works. You know, in 9 months' time, in 9 months' time, I was bringing home 6 times what I was making as a teacher. And not only that, but, you know, I talked a little bit earlier about that dream and about I wanted to be a mama. And after I had my kids, became a mama, you know, the one thing that I desired so much was to be able to keep my grandkids one day. And that was something that, I had let that dream go by the wayside. And I had said, you know, I guess being home with them in the summertime is going to be good enough. I guess I started to just, you know, to kind of put that to the wayside and just think that I knew what was going to happen. And with Plexus, I am outside in the dark, if y'all can't tell that. And the reason I'm outside in the dark is because my grandbaby's mama and daddy both had to be gone for the next 4 days, and she's here with me. I don't have to go to work in the daytime. I get to stay with her. My dream has come true, and it could just make me cry because it's so real. Like, I cannot even tell y'all how real this business is. And because it's so real, if a special ed teacher from Southeast Kansas that has, you know, my closest neighbor's a mile away, if me and my husband can both become Emerald, you can do it too. And you know what? Maybe Emerald maybe that's not where you want to be. Maybe you want to make your car payment. Maybe you want to be, maybe your dream is to just tour the world. I promise it's doable. Promise it's doable. Whatever those dreams are, I encourage you to go back and look at them. You know, Brooke said, you know, time and health, that this company can give you both time and health. She was not joking. You will find that with these Plexus peeps everywhere you look. Just like, you know, Todd's testimony. You know, there are skeptics everywhere. In fact, we need to be getting those skeptics on board, because once they try it, Todd can shake his head yes there, because once they try it, they know. They know. As a business model, it has far exceeded anything and everything that I could possibly imagine. I encourage you. You know, my husband got right on board after that first paycheck came out. He was like, okay, let me check all this stuff out. And we were able to build our business together. And I will tell you that we both, when Plexus says to you, don't sign your spouse up until they're gold, they're doing it for you. They're doing it for you, for your business, for your benefit. So that's something that you really need to do. But you know, Terry was my gold. He turned me gold. And we worked it together. And we've been able to, because, hello, they let husband and wives build a business together. And, you know, you can both make 6 figures a year. How crazy is that? It is, and it's work. It is work, but it is so worth it. So worth it. So anyway.
Girl, that was awesome. I love to hear you radiate this energy and this passion, which, some of us, we have a hard time conveying because it seems so surreal. But, I just am so amazed every time I hear somebody tell their story. There are so many similarities in some right and so many differences in the way that it impacts someone's life. And it's a really cool adventure to be a part of. I'll tell you guys that. So we appreciate all of the guest speakers. Personally, as a corporate business workaholic burnout, this was nothing like I expected. It was better. So before I let you guys go, I just want to kind of bring this full circle. You can do this part-time. When I was working 90 hours a week, there was no way I could work another full-time job, but I was able to fit this into the nooks and crannies of my life. Are you busy? I love busy people. I love busy people because busy people schedule things and they can fit things in 5 or 15-minute blocks. Look, you guys, you've heard the stories tonight. You've probably heard us all talk, the person that invited you here. We just share what we love. This is not a sales-driven type business. This is a people-centric business. We don't have any quotas to meet. We become the products of the products, and then we just can't help but share because we feel that great. And when you feel that great, you just can't help but tell everybody you know. So you would be welcomed into a team. They'll do a welcome call with you and find out what your personal goals are. It's not a team goal. It's what makes the most sense for you individually, for yourself and your family. And like I said, you can fit this business into any lifestyle. We're here to support and to encourage you. You would be your own CEO. You'll never get pressure from us to do anything. And truly, the sky is the limit. If you've ever dreamed about anything in life, this is really the vehicle to help you get there. And I'm so excited. So think about this one question. What if this could change everything for yourself and your family? I really appreciate you guys taking the time. We would be so excited to welcome you each as a new VIP ambassador on our teams. For those of you who have stayed on, we appreciate you kind of kicking through all of these technical issues we had tonight. The key word that we mentioned, we would announce is belief, the word belief. So get back to the person that invited you to this event. We'll extend this. We're going to post the recording. So any ambassadors who are on, if your guest couldn't make it on, we'll post that recording. They can watch it and then they can send you their information. So everybody, thank you again. And we appreciate it. Have a good night.